It's been very long since I made a video, but I want to kind of get back into it. Obviously, I moved. I got some more space now. I ended up getting a shop. For all those who are asking, yes, I still got the Camaro, and I still got a lot of things I want to do to it, but runs and drives. I haven't made a video in a long time just because, well, kind of got it where I wanted it to be, but now I'm at that moment where I think I want to change a couple things in it, make it a little faster, go from there. But nonetheless, today I wanted to make a video about installing the Banks cold air intake on my 2024 Chevy 2500 diesel engine. I did actually get the S&B air intake about a year ago, but that one didn't quite work with the car. It would actually sputter when I was going through some gears, and I think that's because of the MAF sensor, if I remember correctly. They didn't have the right part of it or whatever, so they're just spitting out the old models, and it just didn't work. So went ahead and finally grabbed the Banks one, and so I'm gonna go ahead and install that today. And then I'll go in more detail about a couple of things that I got planned, but for now I wanted to kind of get back into making some videos, and I think this will be a good start. And then we'll jump into some more stuff down the road. But at the end of the video, I'll kind of talk a little bit about the other cars real fast, and then I'll make a separate video kind of going more in detail about everything. But let's go ahead and open up the hood, and then I'm gonna unplug the negatives on the batteries because it needs to sit for about 15-30 minutes before you actually start working on the car, so you won't throw that check engine light. So let me go ahead and get that going, and then we'll jump back into some quick steps on how to get this installed. Yes, I know it's really sandy and dirty in here, but where I moved to, there's a lot of sand, so it is what it is. Can't really get rid of that. But for those who are not tracking on how to remove the negatives or unplug the batteries basically from the cars or these type of vehicles, on the right side, so the driver's side, my right here, but on the driver's side, there is a bolt right here I want to take off. It's gonna be at half. And then when you come over here to the passenger side, you're gonna remove these two clips. Once you remove those two clips, there is a negative back here. That'll be a 10, so use an open wrench to knock that out real quick. And then again, you wanna let it sit for about 15-30 minutes. So I'm gonna do that. While I'm doing that, I'm gonna unbox the Banks cold air intake so I can start getting that installed or laid out, so I know what I gotta do from there. But it should be pretty simple. This is probably the easiest thing you want to install. Is literally just got a couple bolts, a couple grommets, some brackets, and kind of pull it off. Again, I did this not so long ago, so it's just repetitiveness. I just never made the full video of it. I was super excited, but super bummed out when it didn't work. So let me go ahead and do that real quick. So 1 second while I knock that out. This side has always been kind of a pain for me to get off. Try to grab one of these little stubby ones, but just a weird spot to really put these, and it feels like it's almost wanting to, not strip, but you know, get there. So play around with this for a bit so I can get it popped loose, and we'll go from there. All right, so sometimes there's some troubles getting in here. I didn't want to strip this bolt or this nut with the 10. It's a hard spot to get into. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off this bracket that's going over it. That'll give me room to get onto the terminal side, and then I'll use the 10 to get that off. So I'm gonna use a 13 open wrench, undo this bolt. Maybe this one over here to kind of get it loosened up enough. We'll go from there, but yeah, we'll figure it out. But sorry for all that noise in the background. It's the winter storm right now, and it just started raining, so yeah, I mean, sounds good though in the shop. So this is everything that came in the kit. You got your cold air intake, the box that's gonna sit on top of it. Of course, this is gonna be the cold air intake part where it'll sit inside the car. And this will go nicely on top. But the meat of everything, which is why I had to go with the Banks setup and not the S&B intake, is this. It is called the Banks Air Mass Correction Module. Like I said, the S&B intake I had, I don't really feel like the cold air intakes really give a whole lot of sound to the cars, but nonetheless, it did feel pretty good. But at normal like driving speeds, the car like hesitate, almost like choke itself, it would sound like. and that's not something I wanted to keep on there. S&B said, you know, they tried working with me. They tried their best, but they were too early in the game. They thought it would just be a plug and play, and it really wasn't. So Banks took a long time, like a whole year, for this kind of really come out. It took me like 3 or 4 months to actually get my intake, but yeah, I'm glad to knock this out because there's much more I want to do to the truck, but just want to show you all what I got in the box. It's pretty cool, pretty simple. Like I said, it's a couple bolts, man. It just takes like 10, 15 minutes really to install this thing. So that 15 to 30 minute wait, so you don't get a check engine light, is really due to the sensor right here. So instead of taking that off right now, which it's been around about 15 minutes since I've been waiting, I'm gonna go ahead and start unplugging or undoing everything else, which is gonna be taking off this 10 right here, holding the box in place, undoing this clamp, which is a 7, leaving that one on there because it's part of this whole system, and then undoing this clamp over here, which is another 7. Go ahead and start with this 10. And I'm gonna do these bolts next, or these little nuts right here, holding the brackets down. And then we'll jump to the 13s over there. Just undo these. This bolt is right here, right? It's a little tricky to get to in a kind of weird way. I'm on a little step ladder, and I just looked from the driver's side to see where I was at, put it on there, loosened it up, don't hit it. Not go all the way because that's how you lose bolts in the engine bay. Just enough to get it by finger, by hand, take it off, and go from there. But so yeah, I thought there was more bolts holding this down from what I remember, but I guess not. I just thought that 113. So now that I got that off, so I'll lose this bolt, let's put this back on here, and do that again on a 10 once I get the intake off. But yeah, you don't want to be losing things, right? Makes for a 10-minute job to be a 4-hour job just to find and let you drop down the engine bay. But let's go ahead and start wiggling some things off, and we should be able to pull it out here in a second. So this is pretty much loose where I can pull it up. Same for over here, so I'll go ahead and disconnect this stuff off. Again, I've had it off for at least power off the truck for I say like 20 minutes now, maybe, if that. So go ahead and plug this sensor and get some good foot placement. Comes off. If I can get this out straight, that'd be great. You don't want to lose any grommets when you pick this up. There's a couple under here. You're going to need to use those grommets for the bank, so be careful with that. But that's simple. And you're going to use that same mass airflow sensor too, so you're going to use that part. So you're going to want to get the little T fittings or whatever they are, almost like an L wrench, the star ones, but you'll be able to knock that out here in a second. Now let's get this out. That's one a lot tighter than I thought, so let's go and hit this right here. Tell you, I love having a shop now. Gives me so much more opportunity to do more things. Quick and easy. Now that we got this off, we're gonna want to take out these grommets. Mine ended up coming off with the truck. There's a metal one down here. Get a better clip for you. Metal one right here, you gotta get out. Sometimes it's a little tricky. You can use a flathead, if you will, but you pull this out. You want to put these back in there, so you have to do that with these grommets. Here, and there's 2 under it, so you have these 2. So the 2 I installed back in place right here. So the box is in there. But now we're gonna use one of these tools. Got this from like Harbor Freight for maybe like $2-3, if I remember correctly. Boom, tail sensor. Then I'm gonna come over and install it on the banks, and then we'll just start dropping everything in there and get it going. So can't wait. This may be a T20. Let's verify real quick. Yep, T20. All right, so let's check in the hardware again. When you put it here in the bank setup, your sensor, just remember that the hardware they give you, they actually give you the screws for it, which are just regular screwdriver heads. You can put the other ones that you got from your stock intake back on there, so you don't lose those nuts or whatnot. But use what they supplied you, knock it out. If you ever feel like you want to go back to stock, you have everything you need, right? But yeah, so it comes with the hardware, so don't forget that step. Put that in there, and we'll get going. So let me tighten this up, and we'll start putting everything back in the truck. So I was looking over everything right now, and remember this little rubber piece? You actually do need it. It is gonna go in here. So we're gonna slip the grommet inside there, and then we're gonna put the metal piece in, and we should be good to go. Go ahead and try to do it like this. Put it in this way, so it can kind of snap in place. Keep the flat part to the bottom where it's gonna be flush with the bracket it's gonna go into inside the truck. It may take a couple of tries, but sometimes it just takes a little bit to kind of get that ring inside there. It's always the little things. Almost got it. There you go. And then we'll just put this inside. We'll go from there. I'm gonna go ahead and put it from inside. So the nut, when it goes in here, it has something to connect to and be flat against. So just gotta push it in. It should be good to go. There you go. Got it pushed in there. All right, so before you go ahead and put the box for the coater intake in there, don't forget you gotta put this rubber grommet on there. It's a groove. You'll know you got it right when the lip is over this. So we'll go ahead and push this in. Then a couple more steps left, and then we should be good to go. Here, then filter, this gasket. So it can be air sealed. So here's a filter tube. Put that on. Make sure it's flat in there. The gasket's in a nice little spot. Then you get the supplied hardware, which are 10s. Here, which should be plain and simple. We're gonna put this side into the intake like it was on the stock one, and then the extension piece will go to the actual harness we have. So let's go ahead and plug that in. So snap right in there, lock it in place. Grab this one, same thing. The kit, and snap in place as well, but the kit comes with a zip tie. So I may tie it to maybe this wire right here so it just stays in place. I mean, it doesn't look like it's really gonna move a lot, but you never know. All right, so quick disclaimer. I looked at no instructions for this. So recommendations based on some of the headaches or issues I kind of had. I know this is late in the video, but install the intake tube first. Get the bottom or the smaller piece pushed in there. And then when you get to this side, before you bolt it in, just slide this in and then align it, then kind of tighten it up when it's all in its place, right? Because that'll give you a lot more room to kind of get this pushed around, because if not, you're hitting these like AC lines or coolant lines, whatever you want to call them. I think they're AC lines. But nonetheless, that would save you a lot of headache or time. But it's pretty simple. Honestly, the longest part of all this was just kind of looking it over and then just finding the right tools, right sizes to really get to it. But For the most part, all I needed was a 13, a 10, an 8, a 7, and a half. That gets you to unplug the battery negative sides, as well as all the bolts that came with it, and make sure your grommets are in there in place. But looks crazy good. I like the way it looks. Again, I don't really think this doesn't change a whole lot of sound. Performance-wise, I have heard some great things about it. I think it adds like 20 horsepower or something like that. But I'm not really looking for the power. I'm just looking for more reliability. So there's a lot more to come with the truck. I am wanting to get more Banks parts and pieces for it. So hopefully, I win a lottery and can have it all tomorrow. But for now, again, it was pretty simple. I think having somebody to help you kind of hold things in place on the line, get what you need, will make this a 20-minute job to like 10 minutes. But yeah, it's pretty straightforward. All right, so moment of truth. We're gonna start it up. We're gonna see if she gets a check engine light. Hopefully not. Open up the back garage door so the fumes can vent out. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start it up and then let it idle for a little bit, warm up, and then we'll get some sound clips of how it sounds revving it up a little bit from the engine side. But let's see. And then I also reset the air filter life. Not gonna lie, actually sounded like it had a lot more turbo sound to it, more than the S&D intake. But yeah, ask any questions if you have any. Again, simple install. We'll kind of go from there. But as I promised, I was gonna talk a little bit about these cars real quick, so feel free to skip the video or don't. But I do have some, well, at least I have 2 more vehicles since I last actually made a full video of my 2017 Camaro that's fully built by me. Still same thing. I tried doing a lower pulley, but I need to get secondary fuel injection. So I'm going to probably go with the DSX kit that just recently came out. So that's more to come on that one. This is my full-on project car, a 91 S10. It has a Chevy 350 in it. The other owner that I got it from was, he actually did the whole swap and everything in there. So I really don't know what's in the car besides it has a gear drive and a nice little cam to it. You can watch my other videos if you want to hear a sound clip of it. But super new to carburetors, so trying to figure out how to tune that the right way to what the engine wants and it likes. Some future plans with it, may go twin turbo, may just do a nitrous build, I don't know. But this one's gonna be my quarter-mile car, so can't wait. But yeah, it's gonna be super nice, so stay tuned for that. And then my 72 Camaro is on lift right now. This, I kind of want to turn to my daily, but I'm really considering doing a like drag and drive build. I think it'd be kind of sick. But we'll see, more to come on that. I do have a lot of parts ready for it. I do have a stage 4 BTR heads and cam kit. So I'm gonna be pulling the engine and then building that out here soon. But we'll see how that goes, so more to come.